navigate our way to the NFC North with 2 games to go. The Chicago Bears are in the driver's seat to win the NFC North with an 89% chance to capture the division, according to ESPN Analytics. The Packers are still alive in the division race, 11% chance to win the North, but a Bears victory on Sunday at San Francisco would give Chicago their first division title since 2018. Jason, would you be surprised if the Bears reach a Super Bowl?
And that's not a knock on the Bears. That's not a knock on the Bears. They've been a ton of fun to watch. They've been ahead of schedule. I think we all are a little bit surprised of how well they've played this season. The progress Caleb Williams has made throughout what Ben Johnson's been able to do with the run game, the defense, all of the turnovers. But I think as we get further into it, I think teams like the Rams, I think teams like the Seahawks, I just give them a better opportunity to be representing the NFC in the Super Bowl race.
I would not be surprised. I disagree with this. Listen, they have 64 runs of 10-plus yards, the most explosive run team in the NFL. If you remember who won the Super Bowl last year, that team did it. That was the Philadelphia Eagles. They have a quarterback who's making plays. And listen, you got to get lucky sometimes. The onside kick tonight, that's lucky, right? There are things that happen. Last year when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, everybody said, oh, they got lucky. They won 50. Sometimes it goes your way. It's going their way. This is a team that has momentum. Ben Johnson's got them rolling. When your quarterback ain't scared to make the throws, you can run the ball like they have. You get turnovers. I'm not shaking much.
Too many takeaways to rely on. 31. Yeah. You can't necessarily rely on that in postseason play. I would be surprised. They're going to get a home game, and maybe, as you said before, they'd be the 1 seed, so you'd maybe have to go in there to beat them. But first time in, young quarterback, I'd be surprised if I see them in San Francisco again.
Okay, so Jeff, do you still think the Packers are Super Bowl contenders?
I do think they are. I like Matt LaFleur. Look, I know Jordan Love, like the injury, all these kinds of things. Malik Willis, to me, has played lights out. And again, they find a way to mess this one up the other night. But this is a very good football team. And even without Micah Parsons, it's a good enough defense. And just as you look at these games, and you look at these teams, nobody to me feels like they don't have issues. And so, I'm not going to take a well-coached football team that can go score points with Jordan Love. I'm not taking them off the list. I think Malik Willis gets them to the point, and then Jordan Love takes them.
I'm taking them off the list, and I think Micah Parsons was brought in there to be the finisher. He was the guy late in the game in the fourth quarter that's going to come away with the big sack to win you the game. He's the guy that's drawn those double teams. And not only did they lose Micah Parsons, they lost Devontae Wyatt as well on that defensive line. So I think if you start missing those pieces, if you get in these playoff games, you're going to need those guys to step up big. You just mentioned Jordan Love getting banged up. Malik Willis got banged up in that game as well. Right. So those injuries start creeping in. I just don't see him as contenders.
Yeah, I don't see them not winning the division and getting to a Super Bowl. That means 3 road wins in a row. And I know it's been done. Aaron Rodgers did it the year they won the championship. I see Buffalo maybe, as we discussed a little while ago. I don't see Green Bay in the 7th spot or 6th spot winning 3 road games to get to a Super Bowl. That to me is a little too much to ask for that team without Parsons. So I would say no, they're not legitimate Super Bowl contenders.
And the last team that's sort of still in it, but kind of not, is the Detroit Lions. We know they lost on Sunday to the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's what got the Bears into the playoffs to begin with. Are they the biggest disappointment this season?
Well, it's them or the Ravens. I think you'd have to put the Ravens with them too. But yes, I mean, the Lions, they have not been beating good teams. They lost to Green Bay twice. They lost at Kansas City. They lost to the Rams. They lost to a lot of, they lost the other day to Pittsburgh, it's a decent team. They have not beaten a good team all year. That's the first concern with them. They haven't stopped the run. They got all sorts of issues on defense. They're 8-7. I mean, you think that the over-under number beginning of the year was around 11. And they're 8-7.
Most people expected them to win the NFC back-to-back years.
Absolutely. You have to say they're the most disappointing team.
I'm going to say the Ravens. I think when you look at the Lions, they lost both coordinators this offseason. Aaron Glenn becoming the head coach, Ben Johnson becoming a head coach. I look at the Baltimore Ravens. They returned everybody. I remember the beginning of the season, we said, this is the best roster in the NFL. Their defense top down, Lamar Jackson, DeAndre Hopkins, Derrick Henry, all of these guys. And we talked about Lamar's injuries, but remember, they were 2-5 when he got injured at that point in the season. So for me, it would be the Baltimore Ravens as the most disappointing team this year.
Yeah, I'd go Ravens here. It's not even close to me. I have them as my Super Bowl favorites. I thought they were going to represent the AFC, and they have played poor. And here's the thing: even starting poor in all the time. They had everything in front of them. Before that, I think it was a Pittsburgh game, right? They had everything in front. They could go win, take care of business, and they haven't. They've just laid an egg. And so when you look at this team, their roster, they got no excuses, man. I mean, Lamar's played 11 games. They haven't been good enough. I've been very disappointed in this race.
Did anyone here have the Bears as a team that could win the NFC North this year?
No, they did not. 8.5 was the number of Vegas before the year began.
They played.
All right.
They're fact or fiction.
It's fact. They are. Wow. Listen, I'm going to say this. I was the onside kick, whatever, 4% chance, or a miracle, whatever it is. They still found a way to win. And here's the thing. They, similar to the Eagles last year, I'm not comparing the two teams, they lead the league in explosive runs. They got 63 of them. This team understands their formula of winning. They're physical up front. They get turned. And oh, by the way, their quarterback that Ben Johnson has been kind of bringing along the last 2 weeks has made probably two of the most improbable throws in the NFL this season. It's dimes. And it's like, if you feel the momentum, they're behind Ben Johnson. This is an exciting team.
That throw to win the game that we just showed like 4 or 5 times. That's one of the best throws I've ever seen.
Unreal.
Think about like just the arrogance of to even try it.
Arm arrogance.
In a situation like that.
Here it is.
If I'm a Bears fan, then instead of like Yule log on Thursday, I'm running this play over and over and over again, like an endless loop, because that is just absolutely
Unreal.
gorgeous. And the fact that you have a guy, and you know he's young and he's been up and down, he can be erratic. Obviously, a guy that can make that play in that situation. If you can keep the game close, which with the way they run the ball, they can. Then yeah,
Turnovers, like everybody talks about it being lucky, they find ways. Like they listen.
That if the offense can be that explosive continuously, it's going to have to compete with how other teams can score against their defense. But their defense has made the incredible plays. But to your point, the ability to have the explosive runs is less exciting than throws like that. But that's the real secret to this offense, because when you try to take a deep shot, they're low probability plays, and so now you're in 2nd and 10, and your drive might be dead. But if you hand the ball off, and that's just as likely to have an explosive play, if it fails, you're in 2nd and 6, the drive is still alive. It's about keeping those drives alive, and then sometimes stealing a big play that you don't have to scheme for.
By the way, when was the last time a team won the Super Bowl relying on explosive? Oh yeah, 10 months ago.
J-Mac, I want to get you in here. I know you've put together some tape that demonstrates the very best version of Caleb Williams. Take us through that.
Yeah, I think what we're all saying is that you know they can run the football. The part that we've been looking for this year is to see more consistency out of Caleb Williams and see him be accurate down the field. Ross talked about the last play, but it's been multiple examples, and to me this was perfect of him going through progressions. He's getting back. All right, now I'm looking to my right. I don't like the picture there. So now how fast can I get my feet over and get to the next progression? I love this. He sees it. Linebacker's coming up. He's biting on that short route. Now I have to put it in a spot. He does that right between the safety and the cornerback. And then we talk about the last play of the game to win it. But what about the play to send it into overtime? Yes. The Packers come with an all-out blitz. He knows he's responsible for the one unblocked guy. He confirms it post-snap. All right, I see that guy. Now I have to fade away from him to be able to make this throw. And he puts it in a bucket. Yes, the Packers miscommunicate. They don't cover it. But look where he places this football. Even if he is blanketed in coverage, he throws it where only his receiver can catch the ball. This is just an absolute beauty. And when you have a quarterback that will rise to the occasion in those moments, it gives you a chance once the ball is up.
Excellent breakdown. So a lot of positivity on the Bears, but I want you to take a look at that Super Bowl odds right now, courtesy of our friends at DraftKings, and where the Bears, despite being the 2nd seed in the NFC, currently sit. 12th shortest odds. That means there are 11 teams with better odds to win the Super Bowl than the Chicago Bears. Does that feel a little bit disrespectful, Ross?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, what's the reason? Like the fact that they're not the most likely 1 seed? Like someone from the NFC, 3 teams in the NFC West may be more likely to get the 1 seed than they are. Look, I guess. I mean, I don't think they care about. They're also kind of sneaky in terms of like being new on the scene. People want to bet on, and also they don't play a lot of defense. I mean, that is a major Achilles heel that could cost them. So you'd rather have Seattle's defense or the Rams' defense, or the Eagles' defense in the playoffs.
We've all brought up the defense over multiple weeks. I feel a little silly doing it, even though I understand that the turnovers are not something you can always reproduce. They have so many forced fumbles and fumble recoveries, but I also feel like a